All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Freestylin on Real American Freestyle. I am Vinny, and as always, I am by myself to talk all about Real American Freestyle event number 4, RAF04, hashtag RAF04 if you're following along. And let me tell you something. I'm going to start off the bat, like I always do, as a disclaimer. I grew up being a huge WWE fan. Okay, I never really got into freestyle wrestling. However, because of the simple fact that this was a project of Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff, I decided to check it out. I wanted to support the project, wanted to support Real American Freestyle, especially because I'm a huge Hulkamaniac. Got the hat on, but also I know Eric Bischoff and, from WCW, WWE, TNA, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I know that he's got the business sense to get it done. I never heard of Izzy Martinez or Chad Bronstein before this, but I've been watching their product on RAF, and holy cow, I got to say this. I never thought I would ever say that I am enjoying freestyle wrestling more than sports entertainment, more than WWE. I'm not even going to go into AEW, but I'm enjoying this much more than WWE, because you know what? It's got a lot of the elements of WWE. It's got the entrances, it's got the music, it's got the great announcing team, the great play-by-play, having Kurt Angle, Chael Sonnen, Juliana. There, Pena there again this time, along with, good Lord, I'm losing my train of thought, but Jimmy Smith, who the former WWE Raw commentator. Fantastic from start to finish. The matches, the announcing, the music, the atmosphere, the aura of Real American Freestyle really has it going on. And I'm not going to deny that I am still getting into it. I'm still learning. I'm glad they kind of posted what the points, how to score points at the beginning of the episode, beginning of the event, because I needed to know how to kind of score it. I'm still learning. I'm still going to look it up and research it. As always, I do want to thank everybody for tuning in. If you are a subscriber to suds-media.com, which is our YouTube channel, thank you so much. We hit 704 subscribers earlier today, so thank you. Continue to go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell to turn on the notifications to be told when we're going live, whether it's Suds News, Dockside at the Bay, Freestyling on Real American Freestyle, or any of our new stuff coming up in January in 2026. You will be told. You'll get that little push notification on your phone or in your computer or tablet or whatever it is, and you'll be able to tune in live to watch our content. We've also got the capability of super chats, super thanks, and super stickers. So if you're watching this and you want to support our network, go ahead and hit that box with a $ sign in it, and you will be able to donate something. Starting on January 1st in 2026, every month we will be holding a giveaway for a free Suds and Squared Circle Media t-shirt. How do you enter, you ask? Well, you enter by giving us a super chat or a super thanks or a super sticker. For anybody that does that starting in January, you will be entered. Every super chat, every super thanks, every super sticker is an entry to win a free t-shirt at the end of the month. So you can have as many or as few entries as you want, as long as you're enjoying the network, the shows, and all of that to support Suds and Squared Circle Media. All right, enough shilling, enough talking about trying to get me paid, or get the network paid, I should say. But I'm here to talk about Real American Freestyle 04 on Fox Nation. They were from Fishers, Indiana. Great crowd. The hard cam, I mean, we joke about it in professional or sports entertainment. The hard cam side was a little low, but you know what? It doesn't matter. I saw empty seats when they panned, but it really doesn't matter because the event was fantastic. All right. So In the 185-pound class, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that is the cruiserweight class. I apologize, I kind of missed the announcement of what class it was, but the first match out was making his Real American Freestyle debut, Andy Varela, taking on Jason Nolf, who's 0-1 in Real American Freestyle. And Jason Nolf came through the crowd. I loved the Scott Hall reference from Chael Sonnen. I loved the entrance through the crowd because that's what hyped up. That's what hyped up the crowd. That's what got it started to really start the show with a bang. Jason Nolf coming through the crowd. He ended up destroying Andy Varela, tech fall, 10-0, in 1.51 minutes left in round 2, because it was 6-0 after round 1. And amazing. Just the way that these guys go at it. When they say attack the mat, I know Kurt Angle has used it and referenced it before. I really now understand what it means to really go out there and win the match, dominate your opponent, scoring points, and that's something that I never knew before. So I'm happy to be doing it, to be here. All right, let's see. I want to thank the people that are currently watching, 8 of you. That's all right. Share a like, grow the audience, and go over to our website, suds-media.com, which is our YouTube channel. All right. The next match, second match of the night, was the light heavyweight championship match. Jacob Cardenas, who is 0-1. I'm sorry, in the light heavyweight division, not the championship. In the light heavyweight division, Jacob Cardenas, who's 0-1 in Real American Freestyle, is taking on the debuting Trent Hidley, who's, again, making his debut. He's a 2025 gold medalist at the World Championships. Jason Cardenas, who's a 2025 Big Ten champion. This match was really good. It went back and forth for all 3 periods. Hidley just dominated, went 2-0 after round 1. After round 2 was 3-1. And then after round 3, at the end, it was 5-3. So Cardenas picked up a little bit of steam in the third period, but ultimately the points were answered, and Hidley won the match. So congratulations to Trent Hidley for the win, for the victory, going to 1-0 in Real American Freestyle. And now Jacob Cardenas is 0-2. I mean, I'm sure he'll bounce back. I'm sure that he'll get some wins under his belt at some point in the near future. But either way, it's still just to be on the stage. Freestyle wrestling has never been on a bigger stage. Yes, they've been on ESPN before. They've been in the Olympics, but it's never had this kind of hype. And I would know because it drew me in, too. It drew me in. All right. By the way, folks, the chat is open. Go ahead and put those questions or comments or help me out if I say something wrong, corrections in the chat, because like I said, I grew up a WWE fan, and this is my first foray into freestyle wrestling. But you know what? Like I said, I'm enjoying freestyle wrestling, the Real American Freestyle, more than the WWE currently. And I never thought I'd ever say that. All right, moving on to our third match. In the cruiserweight division, both guys are making their debuts in Real American Freestyle. Parker Kikaisen, who's a Ben Askren protege. He's a 5-time All-American. He took on Zahid Valencia. Again, in his debut, 2025 gold medalist at the World Championships. At the World Championships, he had a 49-0 run for points. He never lost a point in the World Championships, which is amazing. After watching this, I can't understand how you can't lose. I mean, but Valencia got tired very early, and Juliana Pena pointed that out on the show, on the event. And I can obviously, I don't have the cardio to compete, so I can understand that, but he did. So, and Kakaisen took advantage of it, and he went ahead, and after round 1, he was up 4-1. After round 2, he was up 6-2, and then after round 3, he won 10-2. A dominant performance by Parker Kakaisen in the cruiserweight division of Real American Freestyle. And I have to say this. One thing that I'm loving about RAF, besides the commentary, besides the production value, but also they're giving the wrestlers, they're not giving them characters, they're allowing them to show their characters. They're allowing them to show their chops, their promo ability, their personality, something that's missing, in my opinion, from the Olympics, from any other freestyle wrestling events, which is why RAF is working. Promos galore on this episode. The production value is fantastic when it came to the packages, hyping up the matches, hyping up, the backstories of the wrestlers. Absolutely fantastic. Again, I can't stress that enough. One of the biggest things that's drawing people like me and a lifelong sports entertainment fan is the production value, the entrances, the videos, the music, something that's never been publicized in freestyle wrestling before. All right, moving on to match number 4, the first championship match of the night for the middleweight championship. Dean Hamady challenged the champion Evan Wick for the RAF middleweight championship. Hamady was it's actually a rematch from the 2025 U.S. Open Finals, and what a match it was. Okay, Dean Hamady went after Evan Wick and never let up. It was 4-1 after the first round, 4-3 after round 2, and then in the third round, winner by pinfall, Dean Hamady. We have a new middleweight champion, Dean Hamady, for Real American Freestyle. That's the first time I've ever seen a pinfall. Oh, no, I shouldn't say that. We did see pinfalls in previous events, but a pinfall in a championship match, and obviously you only have to get the shoulders down for a 1 count instead of a count of 3. Either way, I enjoyed it. I'm excited. The intensity is there. I'm kind of kicking myself for not getting into it earlier. I really am. And that's all well and good. So if somebody could kind of tag Eric Bischoff and let him know that he made a believer out of me, I mean, I've been trying. But all right, 5th match of the night in the cruiserweight division. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this guy's real name. I'm just going to call him by his nickname, Caddick. And he took on, both these guys are making their Real American Freestyle debut in the cruiserweight division. So Caddick taking on Dustin Plott. And Dustin Plott is a 3-time All-American. Caddick is a Belarus national champion. You heard the crowd chanting USA, USA at times during the event, which I'm sure happens at other sporting events than just WWE or professional sports entertainment. I gotta work on that because this is Real American Freestyle is professional wrestling. WWE sports entertainment. I have to start making the difference when I refer to it. After round 1, Plott was up 1-0. Okay, just a very down to earth match, down to just a very slow starting match. However, the speed picked up in round 2. In round 2, Caddick went up 6-5 at the end, and then ended up winning 10-7 for the final Caddick wins his Real American Freestyle debut. Congratulations to him. And can I just say that I tend to look at double leg takedowns in, the freestyle wrestling, and I call them spears because that's what I'm used to, right? For WWE, Goldberg, Roman Reigns, Braun Breaker, Bobby Lashley. But, it's just the intensity when somebody picks you up, just kind of showing you the dominance and taking you down to your back. What a fantastic way of getting things accomplished. So congratulations to Caddick for his Real American Freestyle debut win. All right. Next match. Match number 6. And let me tell you something. Real American Freestyle is creating stars. What do I mean by that? Well, I can see this next participant, the next championship match. Okay, I could see the champion in a WWE ring someday, but not even to the point where I want her to leave real freestyle wrestling. But I could see her getting the sponsorship deals. I could see her just being all over magazine covers, and maybe she has been. Kennedy Blades, Eric Bischoff was right, and he's very rarely wrong, but Eric Bischoff was right. This girl is a beast. I think she's the equivalent, in the female equivalent of Kurt Angle when it comes to freestyle wrestling. And I can definitely see her. I know that we were supposed to get her debut at Real American Freestyle 01. The NCAA rules prevented that somehow. I don't know what exactly was up with that because I still don't necessarily have the full reasoning. I'll get it someday, I'm sure. But at the same time, she defended her women's middleweight championship against a hometown fighter, Alara Boyd, who herself making her Real American Freestyle debut. She's also a 5-time All-American. Kennedy Blades is a 4-time national champion. She's got star appeal. She passes the name test. She got the look. She got the charisma. And let me tell you something. She's able to pivot. Now, in her first win last at RAF 03, she won the middleweight championship and took the tech fall by suplexes. This time, Boyd was ready for the suplexes, so Blades went low and went with the double legs and ended up winning by tech fall, second tech fall in a row for Kennedy Blades, 10-0, 1 minute, 39 seconds into the first, with only 21 seconds remaining in the first period, and Kennedy Blades wins that by tech fall. So amazing performance by Kennedy Blades. I'm telling you, she's a star. And if you want to get to, help make us stars, check out our merch shop, merch.suds-media.com. You can find all of our logos on any kind of merch that you'd like, whether it's t-shirts or hoodies or hats or aprons or even Santa hats. And you know what? We've got cuddle buddies too. So check it out, merch.suds-media.com. And here's a little caveat. For those of you who don't pay attention to our soap opera shows, we partner or we support a charity called Samantha's Friends. Samantha's Friends, you can check out their website, samanthasfriends.org. They help with organizations that train and rehome service animals for veterans and first responders. Every time you order a doggy bandana or a doggy cuddle buddy with any of our logos on them, the proceeds go to benefit Samantha's Friends. This past November, we had our 24-hour, well, it was cut short, so we're planning a second one. We had our podcast-a-thon where we raised $245 to send to Samantha's Friends. And every like I said, every doggy bandana or doggy cuddle buddy that's there, that's sold, the proceeds go directly to Samantha's friends. So check it out, merch.suds-media.com. Help make us stars like Kennedy Blades. I doubt that will happen. Trust me. Okay. Now, the one thing that I need to get some kind of definition on or get taught regarding freestyle wrestling is the term catchweight. Because I'm looking at how the next match is set up, and they're both in the welterweight division, or at least they used to be. Bilal Muhammad, former UFC champion, former UFC welterweight champion, making his RAF debut, is taking on the RAF welterweight champion, David Carr, who's 1-0, obviously. He brought the belt out with him, which is something that no other RAF person did, especially on RAF 03 or 02. Any of the belts that were defended, none of the champions brought their belt out. This guy was the first. Because even Kennedy Blades didn't. It's like, come on now, bring out the belt. Show that you're proud. Wear the belt out. But whatever. So I need somebody to teach me the term catchweight. Because if they're both in the welterweight division, why wasn't this a welterweight division match or a welterweight championship match? Like, it didn't look like the belt was on line. Like, they didn't have the really elaborate entrance or announcing at the beginning. They didn't show the belt on screen outside of Carr bringing it out. So that's what I need to do. So if somebody out there is watching or can get this in front of somebody or DM me at Suds Media, let me know what catchweight in freestyle wrestling means, because I don't understand that concept. But either way, Bilal Muhammad, former UFC champion, making his RAF debut, fought David Carr, who's the current reigning, defending, undisputed. Yep, Charlie, we'll get to Yoel Romero. Absolutely, I will get to that match. So the reigning, defending welterweight champion for Real American Freestyle is, David Carr. He's 1-0 in Real American Freestyle, and he ended up winning by tech fall. After the first round, it was 6-0 Carr, and then it was 10-0 with 1:31 left in round 2. And what a match it was. Carr just went out of the gate in round 2, brought him down for a flat back. I mean, that's a WWE term, but he took the double leg. He got him on his back. I guess it's called the exposure and the takedown for 4 points. Ended up going up 10-0 and winning by tech fall. They didn't say that he was still champion or retained his championship. Again, it's that catchweight division. So I need somebody to explain that to me at some point. All right. Moving on to our co-main event. This match, okay, so I need to understand the concept of an interim champion. Now, I know that Bo Nickel is the current RAF light heavyweight champion. He got pulled from the match because of injury or whatever. He couldn't do it. It was supposed to be Bo Nickel versus Yoel Romero, and Nickel had to be pulled. Again, whether it's by injury or by illness or whatever, he could not make the event. So at the last minute, Pat Downey stepped in, and I got to give it to Pat Downey. This is his third match in Real American Freestyle, and there's some guys that we've seen, twice over 4 events. This guy's in his, fighting his third match in 4 events, so I got to give it to him. Romero making his Real American Freestyle debut. He's Olympic silver medalist. He 48 years old, so one of the older competitors on this round on this event. But you know what? I've realized that ages nothing when it comes to this kind of stuff. I want to thank the 21 people currently watching, 17 on X, on at Suds Media, and 4 on our at suds-media.com, which is our YouTube channel. So check it out, because you can go ahead and subscribe on YouTube and hit that notification bell. I want to thank you all for tuning in to get a WWE fans take on Real American Freestyle. So I don't understand the concept of an interim champion. Do they combine the championships, the belts, when the real champion is healthy to fight? Why can't they just, is there a 30 or 60 day, a clause that you have to defend your title at least every 30 or 60 days? I don't understand. Or every 1 to 2 events. Again, I don't understand. So somebody's gonna have to explain to me why there is an interim champion. Now, in WWE world, an interim champion usually means it's gonna culminate in like a ladder match, like Razor Ramon, Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 10. But in UFC, Real American Freestyle, boxing too, the idea of having an interim champion, like, why couldn't the guy just get healthier or be stripped of the title? Like, that's where my brain goes to. So again, that's another thing I need to have explained to me. But Pat Downey, who's 1-1 in Real American Freestyle, he won his debut match and then lost to Joaquin. I can't remember his name. But in the second RAF 03. But either way, Pat Downey is a star. He's got the backstory. He's got the charisma. There's controversy there. He's got all the makings of being a big star. And he's putting the work in. Like, he takes a last-minute booking of a match against somebody who's an Olympic silver medalist, and Romero just dominated the match. After round 1, it was 4-0 Romero. After round 2, it was 8-0 Romero. And then after round 3, in round 3, it was a tech fall, 12-0 Romero over Downey. What a match. And it's funny listening to the commentary with Chael Sonnen, Kurt Angle, and Jimmy Smith, in that Romero, who has done tournaments, for years. He's 40 years old. He's a seasoned veteran of MMA, freestyle wrestling, so on and so forth. Apparently, he kind of gets 1 or 2 points and then just coasts the rest of the way and just defends. They said that they'd never seen this much action from Romero in the match. So I have to give it to the guy, 48 years old and coming out on top. Maybe Downey needs to take a break and not be at Real American Freestyle event 05 in just 3 weeks. He needs to rest up, rehab his body. Because this ain't WWE where you're going to be going every night. Trust me. But either way, congratulations to Yoel Romero, the interim Real American Freestyle light heavyweight champion. And I assume that means that down the road, once Bo Nickel is healthy, we will see a unification match between Yoel Romero versus versus Bo Nickel in the coming weeks, months, so on and so forth, whenever that comes to be. So congratulations. What a fantastic, dominant performance. All right. Coming up to the main event of the night. For the Real American Freestyle Heavyweight Championship of the World. Okay? This match is between 2 big, meaty men slapping meat. And that's how this match was supposed to go. And in their last 3 meetings, our current champion lost all 3. So, the challenger, we saw him at RAF 02, and that was Mason Parris. Okay? RAFO2. He's a challenger. 2023 Danny Hodge Trophy winner. For those of you who are sports entertainment fans, Danny Hodge is a former sports entertainer, but also a former freestyle wrestler and one of the best to ever do it. One of the strongest guys ever from what stories I've heard from guys like JBL or, Jerry Briscoe or, people like that. JR, Jim Ross, he's a huge fan of Danny Hodge. So that's why their equivalent of the Heisman Trophy is named after him in the NCAA. So Mason Parris, 2023 Danny Hodge winner, trophy winner. Wyatt Hendrickson, the current reigning, defending, undisputed Real American Freestyle heavyweight champion, they're both 1-0 in Real American Freestyle. Mason Parris won, at RAFO2. Wyatt Hendrickson, Mason Parris won at RAFO. Was it? Yeah, you know what? It was RAFO 1 where where Wyatt Hendrickson won the inaugural Real American Freestyle heavyweight championship, and then Mason Parris won on RAFO 2 in the main event heavyweight match. They skipped 03, and now they're fighting in 04. Hendrickson was the 2025 Danny Hodge Trophy winner. So again, the best in freestyle wrestling. He also came out wearing the belt like a true wrestling champion should. And again, these two guys are just big guys. And you know what? They're not just big lumbering guys. These are guys that are big, they're agile, they're fast, they're strong, they're, able to take out the competition. They actually go at it. These guys were fighting. It was closer than what the score suggests. What do I mean by that? Well, after round 1, it was 3-2 in favor of Wyatt Hendrickson. And at one point, it was tied 2-2 until Hendrickson pushed Parris out and, got the lead, 3-2. In round 2, with 1:11 left in round 2, meaning in 49 seconds, Hendrickson scored 10 points and won by tech fall 13-2 in just 49 seconds into round 2. So 2 minutes and 49 seconds, and there's a tech fall, 13-2. Wyatt Hendrickson vanquishes the demon and finally defeats Mason Parris after 3 times. Now, again, Hendrickson is on a roll. He beat Gable Steveson earlier this year, who was touted as being the best. He wants to win the 2025 NCAA National Championship. And obviously for sports entertainment fans know, Gable Steveson signed with WWE for a couple of years, never made it anywhere, tried football, then went back to college wrestling, freestyle wrestling. And then Hendrickson won the 2025 Danny Hodge Championship. So amazingly, this match was a dominant victory for Wyatt Hendrickson, and he's been on a roll. Mason Parris took a year off. He, wanted to try out for the Las Vegas Chargers, I believe. I think one of the NFL teams. I believe it was the Chargers. So he took time off of wrestling, and Hendrickson exploited it and just dominated the match. The real Captain America, Wyatt Hendrickson, wins and retains the Real American Freestyle Heavyweight Championship of the world. Again, folks, I want to thank you for tuning in. You guys are awesome. I just want to bring awareness to not only Real American Freestyle, but also I want to bring awareness to the fact that I'm a WWE fan watching this, and I love this event, the Real American Freestyle. I'm liking it better than WWE is offering right now. again, I want to just put it out there that I'm still learning about freestyle wrestling. I need help. I need somebody to kind of teach me about the psychology of freestyle wrestling, to teach me the scoring, to teach me some of the terms. Like, again, why is there an interim champion? Why is there, the catchweight division? So, again, for those of you who are into freestyle wrestling and have either wrestled in the past or understand it more than I, reach out, DM me. On Twitter, you can reach me at Vinny Suds. I'm also on Facebook at Vinny Suds, or at Suds Media, which is our Network X account. That's where I'm usually at. I try not to switch back and forth if I could help it, but sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Facebook, there's also a Suds and Squared Circle Media page. Go like that and join the group. Ask to be invited to join the group, Suds and Squared Circle Media on Facebook. Also on Instagram and Threads at Suds and Squared Circle. I'm posting shorts up there all the time and trying to get more people to follow us over there as well. And on TikTok, it's at Suds_media. So follow us there. Again, I'm doing some TikTok exclusives going forward. So stay tuned for those. You'll have to follow at Suds_media on TikTok to get notified for that. Anything else to go over? I don't think so. It's been a great event. If somebody here is watching and is connected to Real American Freestyle, I would love to get somebody on the show to talk with, to teach me, to find out some of the rules and some of the rulings that have gone on in this new venture that I'm watching, let alone for Hulk Hogan, Eric Bischoff, Chad Bronstein, Izzy Martinez, who have had wrestling experience. Maybe not Hulk, but Eric was AAU champion. Chad Bronstein is a businessman. I don't know if he has wrestling experience, but Izzy Martinez does. But either way, folks, thank you so much for tuning in. This will go up on the RSS feed probably either tomorrow or Monday. If I don't see you, the next event is actually in 3 weeks for Real American Freestyle. So I'm going to try to get that date for you quickly. RAF05 is on January 10th, so just 3 weeks from today, from the Amerant Bank Arena in Sunrise, Florida. So check it out. I will, as long as I'm not working that day, or not working at 6 a.m. the following day, because that's an unfortunate, deal that, is part of my job. I'm actually off on the 10th and closing on the 11th. So, yes, I will be streaming RAF05 on our Discord, the Gimmick Table Media Discord. If you want an invite, go ahead and DM me at Suds Media. I will send that over to you. We'll do a watch party for RAF05 in just 3 weeks on January 10th at 6:45 p.m., 7 p.m., whenever it starts. All right, so I'm Vinny. I'm getting out there. We'll be back in 3 weeks with, but before I go, I do want to let everybody know, if you are a soap opera fan and you are watching the Suds part of Suds and Squared Circle, Suds News is new tomorrow, Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. And then Dockside at the Bay will air on Christmas Day at 12 noon Eastern time. But all the RSS feeds are, going to be updated as normal anyways. But either way, make sure to tune in. Follow us. Suds-media.com is our YouTube channel. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bells, and buy our merch, which you can find right on YouTube. So either way, and go ahead and give us a super chat or a super thanks. And you can get your name up on the screen, as well as be entered starting January 1st. You can be entered into a drawing to win a free Suds and Squared Circle Media t-shirt every month. All right. So I'm Vinny. I will see you on January 10th for Freestylin at Freestylin on Real American Freestyle. Have a good night, everybody.